at that position. 3rd and 7 from the Arkansas State 9. Lee snaps that one. Crossing route, nice catch by Stanley Morgan. A minute of the opening quarter. Gain of 12 for Pearsonell, who's in the best shape of his college football life. Lee going deep shot down there for Stanley Morgan Jr. Has him. Touchdown Husky. He discusses it with his coaches. Stanley Morgan Jr. just getting a step on Larry Wooden.
Yeah, Larry knew he was beat. He never even looked back for the ball. If he looked back for the ball, he might have been able to get a hand up, maybe, but that was an awfully well-thrown pass, and as you saw, Mr. Reliable, Stanley Morgan looked it right in, put it away, controlled it all the way to the ground.
Glenn, I'm not having very much fun with my 8s and 0s on the Arkansas State jersey font. That's Brandon Biner in the coverage, and he's the man who remained down and stunned afterwards. 28, not 20, Larry Wooden. Stanley Morgan Jr. awaiting confirmation of this touchdown catch. 20 next month. His first career rushing touchdown was against Fresno State on BTN here a year ago. Lee off the play action. Zips this one on target to Stanley Morgan Jr. into the waiting arms of Blaze Taylor, and then held direction now of Tanner Lee. 22-year-old redshirt junior. Lee has plenty of time. Beautiful touch on that pass, complete to Stanley Morgan Jr. First down, Nebraska.
Yeah, this well-timed play. He just runs a little flag route. He's wide open, and it's a high-low versus the corner. You got someone in the flat. You put the flag. Shot his arms through.
Coaches call Blaze Taylor their most competitive guy on the field. Lee to throw. Deep shot downfield. High in the air, deflected away from Stanley Morgan Jr. Edmonds was there, along with Nehemiah Wagner.
Okay, Joe, so in this series, we've seen the running game, tailback. We saw the deep throw off the play action. The third element that he always talks about is the wide receiver carrying the ball, either on a reverse jet sweep. Let's see if they work that in here.
You're thinking maybe a little Tyjon Lindsey or J.D. First and 13 now for Lee and the Huskers nearing midfield. With Lindsey in motion, Lee to throw. Launching another deep ball. And it's drifting out of bounds. Not able to hook up with 160 yards on the ground tonight. Final 90 seconds of the third. Lee to throw. On the money for Morgan Jr. Stopped first by Justin Clifton and finished off by B.J. Edmonds. Third and a bunch. 3rd and 8 in the waning stages of the third quarter. Lee to throw. Pressure on the edge from Blaze Taylor. That throw is hurried wide left of Stanley Morgan Jr. incomplete.
Yeah, when you don't have protection, you don't have time no matter what you call.
We've seen a lot of good football plays from Blaze Taylor tonight. He was putting all sorts of pressure on Tanner Lee. They call it win the rushing battle, win the game. Lee snaps this one. Morgan Jr. was erased by Blaze Taylor. Ball's down. They're going to rule this in.
A drop back and a sideline throw. It's Stanley Morgan, knocked away and intercepted. Tyree Robinson on his first play of the season.
Missed last week, and when we talked to defensive coordinator, there he is on the right side of your screen. When we talked to Jim Levitt, he said, well, I don't know how well he's going to be able to play. This is his first time coming back into a live game scenario. Able to come up with the opportunistic pick. And again, credit Thomas Graham being able to disrupt the concentration of wide receiver Stanley Morgan.
3rd and 7. Lee lets it fly. Once Morgan zipped in the air and incomplete. Arion Springs with the coverage and a 3-and-out for the Huskers.
They're continually looking for one-on-one coverage at the top of your screen with Stanley Morgan, this time on Arion Springs. But Springs, he stays in contact with Morgan the whole time and wisely looks back to make a play on the football to break up the conversion.
So they lose 10 and second down and 20. Lee double clutches, goes underneath. They get 5, but that's all as Stanley Morgan makes the reception. 3rd and 15. Set him behind the chains. 3rd down and 15. Lee over the middle. It is intercepted.
You throw the football before your wide receiver comes out of his break. Look at number 8, Stanley Morgan. This ball is coming. Thomas Graham sees it. Morgan doesn't. He's a little bit behind him. I always tell you, anytime you run those deep curl routes, you have to find your quarterback and come back to a line on him because that's the angle at which he's throwing the football. Clearly, Stanley Morgan didn't have time coming out of that route to find where Tanner Lee was. Ball was already out too far.
In front of this 2nd and 10. Lee floats it. Stanley Morgan. Incomplete. Graham again in coverage. 3rd down.
For Thomas Graham, who's a true freshman, stands at 5'10", 189 pounds. Tanner Lee's got to get this ball to the outside. Now his wide receiver use that big body to fade to it.
For at least Oregon 40. Lee goes short side. It's incomplete.
And that wasn't going to be enough.
Oregon bringing heat. Again, it's short of the marker, but Morgan able to fight his way for a 1st down and more. Continues to drag defenders inside the 20. There were a couple of moments there where you held your breath if you're Nebraska, but he does get a 1st.
Well, and that's why they went right back to this same exact play, same exact route. This time just a little bit deeper, but again, because the ball was thrown back downhill on its stem, he had to go back to get the football. Still so much time left in this game to go for it on 4th down, but it worked.
A 1st down pass play. Lee to the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Stanley Morgan from 18 yards. And the Huskers get the score they were looking for to open the 2nd half.
It was really all by design. Watch the tight end. Big number 88, Tyler Hoppus. See how he sits? The defense jumps up on him. That allows more room back in behind where Stanley Morgan can go up and high point the football over Amadi. Again, the size advantage.
Touchdown on the 1st drive of the 2nd half. Took over around midfield this time. And a 1st down from the Oregon 28 with a corner blitz coming. And they throw right at it. They stuck in it even though that it was ID'd. And it turns into a touchdown for Stanley Morgan.
And that's all because of the experience of Tanner Lee. He started a lot of football games, not so much at Nebraska, but at Tulane. He recognized the corner blitz. You can see Amadi starting to cheat coming off the edge, and there's really no adjustment from the Oregon defense. Someone's got to be responsible for Morgan. He just burnt you for a touchdown on the last series.
On 1st and 15, off play action. Lee well protected into double coverage. It's incomplete. Somehow snuck it through there, but Morgan couldn't hang on.
I was thinking in my head off of this. There's only 2 guys out in the route, but he kept on Stanley Morgan the entire time. Double coverage. Watch how he threads this throw in there. This will be an incredible angle. He's able to get one hand on the football and almost 2, but what a throw.
I mean, your top receiver. The break. Huskers scoring on their first 2 possessions of the 2nd. Lee throws the slant for a 1st down. Stanley Morgan having a big 2nd half, went up and plucked it.
And this is just one heck of a catch. Look at the bottom of your screen. Morgan's going to run a slant route. Lee puts the ball up high. Morgan with the hands to be able to bring this in. Unbelievable.
Fifth catch of the first look we've gotten at this formation from Nebraska. On 3rd and 6. Lee lets it go. It's incomplete. Arion Springs broke in front of Stanley.
Antonio, Texas, comes up with a big pass breakup. You can see him on the right side of your screen. He's going to get into his back pedal. Look at him flip his hips, though. So fluid in the transition. The ball fluttered a little bit behind Morgan. Lee drives this ball to the sideline.
On 2nd and 10. Lee over the middle. There's Morgan. Stays on his feet for a first down to the 45 on his 7th catch of the day, putting him over 100 yards. 6:15 left to go. Nebraska's offense averaged 11 yards per play over the first 2 drives of the second half. Less than 2 per play since. Lee again, time to scan. Incomplete. Morgan was the man who was... Lee looking left, floats it to the end zone, incomplete in front of Morgan with a coverage from Arion Springs.
Well, if you're Oregon, I don't know how you leave him one-on-one on the outside. Stanley Morgan's been the only guy who's really played a big impact for Nebraska at the wide receiver group, and this ball just is not catchable. If anything, put some air under it, you can underthrow it. We've seen Stanley Morgan come back and make a play on the football.